What leads to the self-improvement of modern man? That's right, video games. According to research, video games are able to slow the progression of Alzheimer's and dementia. As an avid gamer, that's bad news for me. My war crimes in Vietnam cannot be uncommitted, but I was at least hoping that I could forget them someday. No matter, I'm 90% sure the Nguyen family were colluding with the Viet Cong anyway, and I'm well on the way to forgiving myself. The Typing of the Dead 1 is a modified version of House of the Dead 2, whereas House of the Dead trains your cognitive functions using a light gun as you blast the undead to pieces. Typing of the Dead, instead, allows you to kill with a word, and sometimes that word might be baby tooth. Much like the original, the Typing of the Dead started life as an arcade cabinet, with 2 keyboards for co-op play, and let me tell you, with all the sweaty arcade dwellers clacking away, I cannot fathom how filthy those keyboards must have been. The game is as simple as this. Type the word, words, or phrase hovering over the specific zombie you want to kill, and they will die. You have a limited time window before they strike you and take one of your lives. Lose all your lives, and you're sent to the continue screen, and forced to sacrifice your hard-earned money to the arcade gods. Except not, because we're playing on PC, boys, and I downloaded this orphaned game on myabandonware.com for free, meaning I can keep ramming my head into the same wall over and over again until I finally surpass the boss battles, or the game lowers the bar enough for me to heave my atrophied gamer body over it. But here is the problem. I am a 2-finger typer. Always have been. And the reason that's a problem is because despite my ability to brute force my way through most encounters like a determined elderly woman, there are some challenges that are still way too hard to overcome. So, I had to improve. I had to better myself. I had to learn to type properly. And maybe, just maybe, no more innocent people had to die. First of all, 2 fingers, the old hunt and peck method. 2 index fingers slowly but accurately mashing the keyboard and getting results. The words start at only 2 letters, yet almost every NPC is fated to die as the game really doesn't provide much time to kill their pursuers. But in my defense, this guy dies from a slow kick in the butt, so I've really got my work cut out for me if I want to save these soft, liberal snowflakes and kiss their soft, liberal lips.
My god.
Don't come!
The first boss battle begins, Zeal and Kual, and this is when the problems begin. In the original game, it's as simple as shooting Zeal as he zips around the screen, something that I'm more than capable of achieving. But now, with naught but a keyboard to defend myself, the long phrases I have to type prove quite the challenge. I eventually prevail. In the second act, the challenge drastically increases. 2-finger typing just won't cut it anymore. It's time to unleash my secret weapon. It's time to bring in a 3rd finger. Using 3 fingers is a little tricky. In fact, I'm absolutely terrible at first. Not only do I usually type using 2 fingies, but I also have to look at the keyboard whilst doing it. Meaning that if an enemy throws a cooking utensil at me, I won't even notice until I finish the word I'm on. Another thing, the game doesn't punish you for making mistakes. Yet. Your progress in the word simply halts until you hit the right key. I find myself constantly reverting to 2 fingers, but I'm on a mission, and I will not allow the next boss to defeat me. The next boss, Hierophant, defeats me. This sea creature is only vulnerable when his chest is open, giving a short time frame in which to type the required phrase. I don't think I can just work this out on my own. I may need to actually learn how to type. First of all, learning a cool new fact about keyboards in general. The little ridges on the F and J key are to guide your fingers back to the natural resting place in the keyboard. A few children's exercises later, and I'm starting to get the hang of typing without looking at the keyboard. I am, of course, making a million mistakes, but I am seeing some improvement. And over time, my words per minute are starting to increase. According to the American Society of Administrative Professionals, the average typing speed is around 40 words per minute. At the beginning, my average words per minute was about 30, roughly the same as a wee little baby, but after just a working day's worth of practice, I managed to boost it up to 50. Presumably at this rate, another day would net me 70 words per minute, and after 1 week I should be a typing god at about 170 words per minute. But self-improvement is hard, and I have no such lofty ambitions, so 50 words per minute is fine by me. With my newfound powers, I return to Hierophant and gut him like a fish.
Don't care who it is, no one's gonna get away with this.
The next chapter is business as usual, and now that I'm not as stressed out about when the next enemy is going to pop out, I'm really able to appreciate how funny this game is. Typing of the Dead is half horror, half action, but all comedy. 90% of the characters deliver their lines in the funniest way imaginable.
Jane, you go from the underground passage. We'll go this way.
Okay.
With the villain Goldman being the most infamous example.
People people of the AMS. I am Goldman. I don't care if you people try to get in my way or not. In time you'll find out who's right.
The next boss, the Hydra, is where the game really starts to shake things up. Instead of typing the first word you see, the game will ask you a question and you'll have to type the correct answer from a selection of 3. First of all, that's messed up. Now I have to type and think? Second of all, these questions are ridiculous. Which is a dinosaur? The Cankersaur, the big-ass raptor, or the Tyrannosaurus Rex? I answer the riddles 3, and put the big snake 6 feet under. After this, I'm practically zooming through the game, flubbing more keys than I ever have before, which still doesn't matter, yet, and smash through the sewers with ease. Even save a few people for once.
Thank you for rescuing me.
That can't really be his voice. It's once I hit the Colosseum that I face my toughest challenge yet. Full sentences. With punctuation. Punctuation hasn't been an issue thus far, as you need only type the word without any extra inputs. Also, none of the words are case sensitive. Seldom few enemies have had any punctuation up until this point, just the occasional question or exclamation mark. So the game has been counterproductively ruining my typing habits because of it. I constantly forget to hit the last key until the last second. I've never been more locked in my life. A flurry of keystrokes later, and I finally best the gigantic enemy, and am rewarded with a hilarious cutscene for my efforts.
Right. But Harry's...
James! The car's parked in the city square.
After that, I'm in a car, and pushing through a bus rush. With ease, I should mention. Get that weak shit out of here. Did I mention this game is hilarious? And then I reached the penultimate boss, which was the ultimate boss from the first House of the Dead, the Magician, so named because he magically makes my smile and optimism disappear. Though my typing speed has been increasing, my accuracy has been getting worse. The fact that the game hasn't been punishing typos is both a blessing and a curse. A blessing because it gave me the confidence to fully embrace the proper typing method without fear of failure, but a curse because now every typo will cause me to lose a life, and unsurprisingly, this ended my run. Back to the training grounds. I didn't realise before, but Typing of the Dead has included game mode specifically for training your typing skills, so I choose the one focused on accuracy and put myself to the test. After way too long in this mode, I fight my way back to the Magician and saw him in half. And you know, at this point, I am a typing god. If Typing of the Dead can take me this far, I'm starting to wish I could gamify my other shortcomings. Whereas handwriting of the dead, or using cutlery of the dead, or forming meaningful and lasting connections of the dead. But before we reach the end, let's return to the subject of the video. Did the Typing of the Dead really make me a better man? Yes. But how, Neverhard? All you did was type silly words. Well, let's break that down. What did the game do? It didn't even teach me how to type properly. I learned that using resources from a different company, and though I'm certainly much better than I was at the start, I'm still nothing special, as I'm sure anybody who's watching this gameplay footage can attest to. But it motivated me to learn an important life skill that I've neglected to cultivate my whole life. I had forgotten the importance of self-improvement. I had chosen to let my skills stagnate, and I had, in a way, failed myself. It took this stupid-ass game, where the main character has a Dreamcast attached to a giant battery on his back, and uses a keyboard to type zombies to pieces to realise that. And I'm all the better for it. But anyways, at this point I'm steamrolling the final chapter, all 10 fingers flowing majestically, until I hit the finale.
Friends, it is not over yet. Is that all you have to say?
In time, a successor will come. Farewell, friends.
What the fuck?